This is iFIBER 1 News. Here are today's top stories.
School lunches are one of many facets that will be affected by the government shutdown if the political stalemate continues beyond March in D.C.
With freezing temperatures outside, homeless residents of the Wenatchee Valley found warmth and help on Thursday inside this former Catholic church.
Grant County Animal Outreach is holding their annual fundraising dinner and auction on Saturday, February 16th in Ephrata.
It was a battle of two undefeated teams at the W.B. Smith Gymnasium on Wednesday nights.
From the iFIBER 1 newsroom, this is iFIBER 1 News. And it starts now.
School lunches are one of many facets that will be affected by the government shutdown if the political stalemate continues beyond March in D.C. Last Friday, USDA Secretary Sonny Perdue tweeted that free and reduced lunch programs are fully funded through March, but did acknowledge mounting concern about the issue. Food Research and Action Center President James Wheel is calling on President Trump and Congress to open the government and stop the threat to federal programs that meet the most basic needs of struggling Americans. Wheel told CNN that the shutdown would, quote, create chaos for schools if it lasted beyond March. iFIBER 1 News reached out to administrators with the Moses Lake and Ephrata school districts who say they're not concerned about the funding situation at this point. I'm Sean Goggins for iFIBER 1 News. This segment is brought to you by
Change doesn't have to be complicated. With a low-profile microwave hood combination that's ready to install right out of the box. It fits in the same space as your under-cabinet hood, so you can get your microwave off the countertop and make space for the routines worth keeping. The low-profile microwave hood combination from the #1 selling appliance brand in the USA.
Whirlpool Appliances, now available at More Furniture in Ephrata.
With freezing temperatures outside, homeless residents of the Wenatchee Valley found warmth and help on Thursday inside this former Catholic church. Now the Wenatchee Community Center, the building offered a host of major resources during the annual point-in-time outreach for people living without shelter. The effort, dubbed You Count, offered aid to those living on the street while also getting an estimate for the size of their population.
We got together at 6:50 this morning. We had 3 teams that went out and canvassed the streets, and just looking for people in need, trying to get a count on our homeless population here in Wenatchee, and provide supplies, keep people warm, make sure they have some food, and know about this happening here so that they can get some resources with medical and other agencies.
Volunteers offered a hot meal, plus supplies including clothes, backpacks, and bathroom products, and access to free dental and medical screenings. Clients could also apply for public assistance and get referrals for other needs, like mental health care and drug and alcohol counseling.
That's the struggle is, a lot of it has to do with substance use disorder, and that's something that we're trying to bring awareness to the community, advocating for them.
Last year's count found 474 homeless people living in Chelan and Douglas counties. Tom Adkison has been homeless in the Wenatchee Valley for 2 years next month, since his marriage ended.
I was always afraid I've never been homeless a day in my life before this. I was always afraid of what awaited me out here, and that was more attractive to me than staying another day in that relationship.
Chris Skipper has lived on the streets since last summer. He came to Wenatchee when he was assigned to a juvenile group home and finished a year of college before his luck changed.
And then I just started leading towards drugs, and I was at the Oxford House during that time, and I can't do drugs and be at the Oxford House. So.
Are you in temporary shelter at this point?
No, I live outside.
Both men have ambitions to get clean and get back on track. Tom is scheduled to check into a drug treatment program this month, and Chris dreams of going back to college and owning his own bar and restaurant.
It's an experience that once it's over, I don't think you'd trade for anything, but it's something you don't want to go through if you don't have to.
One of the things that I've noticed is that if you just talk to a person that's homeless, you see them out there flying a sign, and you just talk to them and show them some compassion, that makes their day more than anything else. It brightens their whole days because they feel like they're nobody. They're invisible in this world, and that's one thing that people seem to forget is that, that they're humans too. That's one of the hardest things out there.
Jefferson Robbins, iFIBER 1 News.
This segment is brought to you by
Your taste buds bored? Well, then bring them to Jay's Teriyaki. Not only does Jay's have a variety of teriyaki dishes, they also offer mouth-watering salads and sides. Call Jay's 509-764-5155. Jay's Teriyaki, located at 123 East Broadway in Moses Lake, because it's all in the sauce.
Grant County Animal Outreach is holding their annual fundraising dinner and auction on Saturday, February 16th in Ephrata. The annual Spaghetti Dinner is being held this year at American Legion Post 28, located at 276 8th Avenue Northwest. Doors open at 5:30 p.m. and dinner, which includes spaghetti, garlic bread salad, and a beverage, starts at 6 p.m. Tickets can be purchased at the door and are $10 per person or $5 for kids under age 5. The event includes guest speakers, a silent auction, and drawings for prizes. All proceeds from the event benefits Grant County Animal Outreach, which provides care for displaced pets while finding permanent homes for the animals. In 2018, the shelter took in close to 1,200 dogs and 860 cats. The animal shelter is located at 6725 Randolph Road Northeast near Moses Lake. For more information or ways to volunteer, contact the organization at 509-762-9616. This is Joe Utter for iFIBER 1 News.
It was a battle of two undefeated teams at the W.B. Smith Gymnasium on Wednesday night when the 5-0 Wenatchee Valley College Lady Knights hosted the 5-0 Big Bend Lady Vikings with sole possession of first place in the NWAC's East region on the line. The game got off to a bit of a sluggish start for both squads, with Big Bend posting the first bucket 2 minutes and 20 seconds after tip-off, and Wenatchee waiting until 3 minutes and 43 seconds had expired to claim their first points. But after the two sides shook off all the pregame jitters, both got down to business around the basket in a first quarter that saw the Lady Knights outscore the Lady Vikings 13-9. In the second period, however, Big Bend launched a major offensive against WVC, guided by sophomore guards Leah Doherty and Miranda Johnson and freshman guard Abby Broadbent, who all helped in building a halftime advantage of 36-28 for the Lady Vikings. However, being down by 8 at intermission seemed to light a fire under Wenatchee, who came out smoking on both sides of the ball in the second half, with plenty of Big D and scoring fuel provided by freshman guard Chastity Spady, as well as sophomore guards Ashlyn Burgess and Riley Denton, who assisted the Lady Knights in outscoring Big Bend 22-9 in the third quarter, including a 10-2 run to finish it off. The big third frame spun WVC from an 8-point deficit to a 5-point lead after 30 minutes of play. And in the fourth quarter, the Lady Vikings began pushing back, eventually narrowing the gap to only 2 points with less than 40 seconds in the contest. But Wenatchee's defense came up clutch down the stretch, and Spady's back-to-back swishes at the free throw stripe with only a few ticks remaining in regulation sealed the deal for the Lady Knights, who won 70-63 to take over first place all by themselves in the NWAC's East region.
Just super proud of our girls, proud of their effort on tired legs. This is game 4 for us in 9 days, and same for Big Bend. Everyone's got a tough schedule, and we recognize that, so I think I'm just proud of our kids for battling through defense on tired legs. I mean, offense on tired legs is one thing, but defense on tired legs, that takes a warrior, and we got a team full of them.
Both WVC and Big Bend next play on Saturday when the Lady Knights travel to Ontario, Oregon to take on the Treasure Valley Chuckers, and the Lady Vikings host the Blue Mountain Wolves. Reporting for iFIBER 1 Sports, I'm Chris Hansen.
This is iFIBER 1 News. For more information on these stories and other news, visit us online at iFiber1.com or check us out on Facebook.